All right, welcome back to Big Riff Energy. I am here with the mighty Necrot.
All right, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course, thanks for being here. They are playing the Mohawk in Austin, Texas tonight. They are on tour supporting their new album, Lifeless Birth, one of my favorite records of the year so far. This is one of the best death metal bands in the world right now. Go see them on tour. Welcome, guys. How y'all doing?
Yeah, good to see you, Nate.
What's up, Nate?
Cool. Chilling, man.
Yeah,
Chilling.
excellent.
Here, first question I ask a lot of people. This is a good icebreaker. Favorite Morbid Angel record?
Altars of Madness.
Me too.
Altars of
Me
Madness.
Shit, Gateways.
Gateways, cool. I think that's what Zach from Outer Heaven said too. Okay, so here's a different version of that question. I know you guys pretty well, known you for a while. I'm gonna try to guess your favorite death albums.
Okay.
Luca, you're easy, dude. Human.
Yes.
You got the tattoo.
Right.
Symbolic, Sonny.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Hang.
Leprosy.
Oh my God, that's 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Holy
All right.
shit.
You read the interviews.
Cool, man. Cool. Nah, I don't read interviews, bro.
That's
Who reads
scary.
interviews? Who watches interviews? I don't know. I don't do it.
Everybody listening in right now.
Luca, I want to ask you, man.
Okay. I feel like I'm in school at the fucking examination.
Yeah, we'll lighten it up, dude.
All
We'll
right.
lighten it up. Don't worry. You're in a pretty unique rock and roll situation
Thank you.
of being
Appreciate that.
of being a bass player frontman. So who are some of your? I mean, I could probably guess a few of them too, but I'll let you.
Are you gonna do the
talk.
interview by yourself?
Yeah,
or
I'm
you gonna let us
gonna
say something?
I'm gonna do the whole thing. Who are some of your favorite bass
Players,
front
singers.
people? Yeah.
Well, Lemmy from Motorhead, Tom Araya, fucking Steve Tucker. I'm gonna keep it at 3.
Cool. Tucker's underrated.
Gateways, man.
Yeah, Tucker
Yeah.
is sick.
He's
Yeah, I know,
underrated.
I know. Shit.
His stage presence is very frightening.
Yeah.
You know, it's like very strong. He's very centered or something.
Because he's a pissed off construction worker.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta be pissed off to play this kind of music a little bit. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Chad, who are some of your guides in the drum department, especially pertaining to the new album? Because the last time I saw you, we were talking a lot about you guys have these parts that are like smart but not too smart. They still slam, they still groove, but it's like there's interesting, exciting like turnarounds and time signatures, and it's not getting so complicated that you can't like mosh or fucking headbang. But where does that inspiration come from for the maybe like the more progressive but not too progressive type of stuff?
I mean, it's just more basing off of like what I did on the last one, just trying to like match that energy and then also like step it up too, just so it's not so bland. And I feel like, you know, Cannibal Corpse really influenced the drumming on this one just because it's a lot of like hammer blasting, and then there's like a lot of like straightforward stuff. Slayer for sure, just, you know, always just that like classic thrash beat, you know, like that went on to influence like all like the, you know, Swedish and like Finnish style like death metal stuff, or even like, you know, the thrash of like the US. And then trying to think who else. Death, Leprosy for sure, like that's always a huge influence. And then like I think like another like out of the normal like realm would be like Stormkeep. When I learned all the Stormkeep stuff for the tour that we did, it required me to like really step up my game, because like that drumming is just a style that I've never really had to like learn or play for before, and it was really cool. So I took a lot of like influence from like the ideas that Isaac wrote for those albums, and I definitely implemented them a lot on the Lifeless Birth album. So
He's a beast, and he,
Yeah.
again has a sensibility of like doing stuff that's interesting and maybe a little unorthodox at times to keep it like fresh, but it's not losing a plot or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like a very fine art.
No, he crushes it. I mean, and like, you know, his work with Blood Incantation, like that's also just a huge influence too, just because like we played so many shows with them or just like hung out with them and seen them all over the world. So just like his style is definitely like influenced me a lot as far as like being a drummer going forward.
Cool, man. Sonny, we've talked a lot about your guitar approach and carving out sort of your own like signature melodic sensibilities or whatever, but who are some of your guides in the guitar department, guys you look up to? Here you go, buddy.
Well, I feel like for this last album, for Lifeless Birth, I looked towards a lot of King Diamond stuff, Andy LaRocque, and like, you know, Merciful Fate, you know, Michael Denner, Hank Sherman, and, you know, some of the classics. You know, I was listening to UFO and a lot of new wave of British heavy metal type stuff.
Got inspired by UFOs.
Yeah, the aliens came down and showed me some new scales.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
You know, and then, you know, my classics that, you know, we've talked about, like, you know, definitely outside of the metal realm stuff like Gilmour and, you know, classic Skynyrd and Southern rock stuff kind of creeps in there to kind of keep some of the bluesy stuff. I even found some video on YouTube of this guy doing the Dimebag Darrell scale, which I was like, well, what the hell is the Dimebag Darrell scale? And I kind of copied some of those shapes that this random YouTube guy did, and I used some of that stuff just because it's kind of like a weird bluesy diminished type shapes, you know, a lot of long reaches and like bluesy bends and stuff. So that's kind of where I was at with a lot of that. There's definitely more accessible melodic content in some ways, but it's also smarter, if that makes sense, with some more different kinds of passing tones and I doubled every solo and did a few more harmonies on this one, which I did on some of the earlier stuff. And just did some experimenting with some amps and stuff that was fun, you know.
Killer.
Yeah.
Have you repaired that SS150 I gave you yet?
I have not yet.
Putting him on the spot.
But it has
Hey, what about?
it has been used in several
$15
bands
wrong.
regardless.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
No way.
Actually, a couple times it has been
spend
used.
those $20 I gave you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
wanted that.
perplexing a lot of like amp repair techs. They just couldn't get it, but it kind of works if you don't fuck with it enough. Like if you set it and leave it, it seems to work.
Yeah,
half the time.
it's
If you don't
doing
use it, it works.
it's doing this fucking like it's doing this thing where it starts popping really loud currently. So, but I have my drummer in Cody Stein in Borlust is also an amp tech, so he's like,
Oh,
just
perfect.
leave it with me at some point.
That's a perk of a band
it's gonna get tended to.
Yeah, for sure. So the new album, you know, a lot of the best like extreme music to me, it'll be like brutal fucking lyrics, you know, because it's brutal music. You have to match that. But it seems like a lot of the best stuff will kind of, I don't know, speak to what's going on in society or the current culture, or, you know, have a little bit more of like a profound underlying thing. Who writes the lyrics? Luca, you write the lyrics?
Yeah.
So I'm picking up on a lot of stuff that's like,
Well, I think they got like a little bit more of like an emotional side. to it,
right.
You know what
I'm
I
picking
mean?
up on that.
Yeah, definitely. More than just brutality. You know, it's got like a little bit more of like a psychological thing.
Right.
Right. That it speaks closer to like eventually like shit that is more real, like that makes you think, or I don't know. I feel like, you know, Chuck Schuldiner used to do a lot of that, you know. I
That's
always
what I was
like
gonna
that.
say.
Death influence.
Yeah.
It is definitely in the
Actual
lyrics.
scary reality stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
for
the last 4 years has just been like insane for everybody,
Yeah.
for the whole world, and it seems like the suffering is just like ramping up, and it almost feels like there's like forces at work making the suffering even worse. And when I listen to the album,
You're feeling it.
I felt
Yeah.
that. You're speaking to like what everybody is feeling of
yeah,
the
no
shit
shit.
we've had to suffer through the last
Yeah.
few years.
Totally. It sums it up a little bit.
Yeah. And
I
so
felt that like, you know, not many bands were like really, I feel like lots of people got traumatized by what happened. So people don't tend to want to speak about it. You know, like a trauma, you know, you fucking try to forget it.
right.
Which I felt like, no, this is, you need to fucking talk about it. You know, something real is happening to everybody, you know.
I think
It
that's
needs to be, it
important.
needs to be there.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
You
that's
can't just
important.
fake that never happened, or, you know, we got fucked hard.
Well, I was gonna bring that up. You know,
Because it's like you were saying, like, you know, everybody suffers so much in the last few years. I'm telling you, like, billionaires haven't,
that's true.
corporations haven't.
Yeah.
They made more money than fucking ever. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Politicians haven't. They got like fucking more power than ever. You know what I mean? It's
And I
like,
feel like you were speaking for me and so many others that feel that fucking the class warfare is getting more and more extreme, and the gap is like getting
more, yeah,
wider and wider,
100%.
and it's like they don't give a fuck about whether we live or die. We're like cattle to some
Right.
of these people, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
and
it's
you,
true.
it's very cathartic to hear somebody in extreme music like venting and raging and pointing out those kind of problems.
Cool,
and
thank
not
you,
enough
man.
people do it.
Agreed.
So
You know, Max Cavalera also was someone who will fucking point that shit out. You know?
Necrot
It's
fan,
like-
number one Necrot fan, man. I had him singing "Drill the Skull" on this show
That's
last
sick,
interview.
You know?
Yeah.
We're fucking
Wow.
Max number one's fan too.
So you guys, like you said, you kind of got particularly fucked, like individually and as a band. I know that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you were like trapped in another country, right?
I'm not trapped. I'm still there.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
you know,
okay.
it's not that.
Yeah, yeah,
it's not
right.
the same. I wasn't forced there.
You weren't handcuffed.
No, it
He
was
chose
my
to go
choice.
there, yeah.
But so
Was
do
my
you
free
think?
choice.
Do you think that the hard times that you guys went through? So I know for me, it made me appreciate all of this stuff that we get to do so much more, and it strengthened bonds that I have with guys like you. Do you
Yeah,
guys
because
feel
when
the
you're
same?
like, you know, when you don't, all of a sudden you can't do something anymore, then when you can do it again, you appreciate it more.
Yeah, you maybe don't take it for granted as much. That's
Right.
for sure.
Because before it's like you're on tour all the time and you're like, oh, fuck it, I'll enjoy next tour. And I, like, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know, there's always more, there's always another one, there's
This
always
one
another
sucks. I'll enjoy the next
Yeah.
one more.
I don't know, whatever. You know,
That's the truth, man.
or I'll be
That's
like,
the
you know, I'm a
fucking
little
truth.
distracted. I'll, you know, pay more attention next time. Now you're like, you know, this could be the last show. Any show could be. Let's fucking, you know, enjoy it to the maximum.
Yeah, nothing is certain.
Absolutely.
Not that we didn't know it, but like, you know, when you're right in front of it, then you get reminded of it.
Yeah, for sure, man. So you guys, first tour back, obviously the time off didn't hurt the trajectory of the band at all. You guys did the Tank Crimes tour with Municipal Waste, Ghoul, Dead Heat. I saw the show in San Antonio,
yeah.
and it was a fucking rager.
It was sick.
What a fun tour. That was one of the funnest tours we've ever done, for sure.
San Antonio is
Yeah.
such a cool place to play.
It's metal as fuck.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
definitely, no offense, I live closest to Austin, but San Antonio is definitely the most metal. Houston's getting pretty metal with Hell's Headbangers and stuff,
Fuck
but
yeah.
dude, San Antonio fucking throws down. They don't care if they look cool. They don't care.
They look cool. They look pretty cool.
They look cooler than everybody else, yeah, and they don't even care, you know. So you're about a week or so into this tour, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just started.
Yeah.
We got 28 more shows to go.
28 more shows.
Then we get back
motherfucker.
for a week and we go into Europe for a month.
There you go, getting after it.
Yeah, right after. Enjoy the next one.
Yeah.
Making up for lost time, I suppose.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we were supposed to do Europe, full U.S. tour, South American tour, all in 2020, and then it just didn't happen. Yeah, and I mean, for so many other people too, it's just like now we actually can make this happen, and we're gonna hit it as hard as we can.
Great. Go see them, guys.
Yeah, go listen to our new album too if you haven't.
I think it did pretty well, huh? People are responding like, I mean, I think it might be my favorite one. I like
thank
all
you.
of them.
Thanks,
It's been a great response, and like, you know, obviously, like we've had a lot of support from people like Albert from Decibel, and like just all the other bands that have given us a chance and taken us out with them, that help pull us up, you know, is done a lot of just endless good for us, and we're nothing but appreciative for all that support. And then, of course, all the people that checked out the album and bought it and talking about it and blogging about it and all the shit. You know, it's fucking it's incredible. It's really cool.
Hell yeah. And we're going to shout out Scotty at Tank Crimes, too, because I know that dude
Absolutely.
grinds.
Scotty and Marky at Tank Crimes.
Yeah, they're like-
both
I don't
of, they're the
know. I don't
dream
know him.
team.
Those
Marky does all the graphics.
Oh, cool.
So like all the layouts that you see for all the Tank Crime stuff, that's him. Or like any of the like the flyer stuff, like we work directly with him
Yep.
to make that shit happen. And then-
Marky, Merald, and Scotty are like the other part of Necrot, pretty much. Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, and then I mean we have Liz at Ear Split and Niels, who's our European PR person.
I was just talking to Niels last
yeah,
week.
at October.
He fucking rules.
Yeah, everybody who's like had a helping hand has made the album the success that it is, and it's crazy even just seeing like us make the Billboard charts again, like, and like even I feel like it was like maybe about the same or like more.
I mean, it's
charting
like,
positions this time. It was,
I think it was.
I mean, at
crazy.
this point, it's our third album in the charts, and like we get good reviews, and everybody's stoked about. So I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, you get less and less surprised. It's more like expected at this point. I feel like, you know.
It's hard to remind yourself,
You
of
know-
like when you were a kid, all the goals and shit that you looked at,
Yeah.
because it's such a grind to get there. It's such a nonstop.
It's
There's
hard
so much
work, and you
that
gotta have
goes
good
into it.
songs, you know.
Yeah, that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize is you can have the best like social media and all that shit in the world, but if the songs ain't there, that stuff's just gonna
Right.
fizzle
Yeah.
out at some point, you know.
Unless you're like some master TikTok content creator.
Hey, MySpace
Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore, man. The biggest band on MySpace, there's no MySpace anymore.
Who was the
It's
biggest
all-
band on
I don't
MySpace?
know. Remember the top 8?
Oh, right.
I'm just saying, TikTok might not be around forever, but a good song will be around forever.
Yeah,
It's
for
true
sure.
that.
Hopefully.
yeah.
Okay, you guys never guessed my favorite Death album. What the fuck? This is all about
Probably,
me, bro. And you guys
Favorite Death album. Fucking- Is it Scream Bloody Gore?
No.
Is it
Is it-
individual?
Is
No.
it human?
No.
Oh man. All right, Sonny.
Leprosy?
Spiritual healing.
Oh, wow, so close.
The one everybody's like always butting heads on, you know.
It's a good album.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
I love it.
fun.
It's the first one I heard, so
There's
think
also
that-
the nostalgia.
Yeah,
thing,
that's a
right?
And the
part of it.
cover
Yeah,
is
yeah.
great too.
yeah, I love it.
Sure.
I love
Just
it.
slapping it.
It's like such a period piece.
Definitely.
Image. It's
The
fucking
guy, it might not be the guy that they're like trying to represent on the cover, but I grew up in Oklahoma. There was a dude named Oral Roberts. Do you guys remember that fool?
No.
Oral Roberts.
Sounds familiar.
And they named
Was it a nickname or was it?
No, that's his-
That's his actual name.
Yeah.
And
He was doing
they named a university. They named like a Christian university
After
after
him?
this dude in Tulsa.
Oh.
And I remember seeing, because like most people in the South, you know, you kind of just go to church as like a whatever. And I remember seeing this dude Oral Roberts like slapping people on the head in like a tent on TV, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I told my folks, I was like,
I want to be him.
I'm not. I was like, I'm not fucking going to church anymore. But that's right around the time I was listening to
Nice.
that Death album, dude. Changed my life. Anything else you guys want to mention? So you got this tour, 28 more shows, right?
Yeah,
thanks-
something like
thanks
that.
to Ron Martinez and
Shout
Paul
out
Ron
Ron.
Ross.
Cross
Yeah.
Space.
Love
He
Ron.
booked the whole tour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we still got, you know, you still got a lot of chances to come see us play because we still got a lot of shows. We're going all the way around.
I'm gonna
So
put
if you,
this
if you
up
live in the U.S., you know.
ASAP too. So no excuses,
yeah,
guys.
go find your day, whatever.
If you ain't there, you're a poser. Like,
Invite a
Just
friend.
Wimps and posers leave the hall.
yeah.
Or come to the hall.
Posers welcome too. Posers
Yeah,
also welcome.
all parties. All parties.
Yeah, you get pimps and
We don't
posers.
discriminate.
Pimps and hosers.
Oh man.
That it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess thank you
I mean,
for
shit.
having
Yeah,
us for
fuck
the
man.
interview.
We
and,
appreciate
like,
you, man.
Thanks for,
Hey, there it is.
thanks for your
No, yeah,
friendship
yeah.
for all these years and
Yeah.
having us on your thing. And
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
thanks
Right.
to everybody out there and
Yeah, man.
internet land who's like
Internet land.
stoked on the band and
Yeah, it's sick.
come and show up in person and be like,
Come to
"Hey,
the shows. The shows are sick.
I'm Don Quixote 69.
Yeah, we're on tour with Bad. We're on tour with fucking Street Tomb and Phobophilic is joining later. Like every single band on the tour is sick.
Yo,
it's like it's worth it.
Phobophilic
Dude.
fucking rules.
Dude,
We
Street
saw
Tomb
them.
is so badass, still, and Bad. Everybody's kicking ass.
Yeah,
like, you
man.
know, it's worth it. Even if you don't like us, come for the opening bands.
There you go.
Shout out Bat just put out a new record too.
Also, yes.
That album's great.
Yeah,
Might
they've
try to
been
talk to those
crushing
good guys. I might come to Houston and bug those
There you
guys.
go.
Do it.
Sick.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank
See
you very
next
much.
time.
Oh, you didn't hit record.
Cause we're gonna make it